Okay, today what we are going to be doing is we're going to be making some fish cakes. As you can see, I've already pre-cooked my salmon. Now in the recipe it did say to grill, and what I actually ended up doing was putting it into the oven for 15 minutes, and that way then I could just check that it was completely cooked. I've already pre-cooked my potatoes as well, and then I've just mashed those. If you don't have a potato masher, do just use a fork. It should come away quite nicely. In fact, I need to just go over a few bits before I start, because there's a few big lumps there. And then all I've done is with the mixed herbs. So I've got my dill, the parsley and my lemon zest. Now for my lemon zest, I've actually used a zester. If you don't have one of these, you can just use a grater. Just make sure that you use the really fine one, where we would use the slightly bigger one for part of the cheese. Just make sure that you use the other side, which is slightly thinner. Try not to use the one that's got lots of bubbly bits all over it, just because it's a nightmare to clean, and I'm not sure that your parents will thank you for that. When we're working with fresh herbs, so that's our parsley and our dill, we don't want to be cutting up them too small and too finely, because that then bruises the parsley or the dill and we end up losing a lot of that flavour. So just make sure that you're just roughly chopping those. You'll also see that in a bowl, 3 bowls, I've got my flour, the egg, and then the breadcrumbs. So I've already ground up those breadcrumbs already. And that is going to be used for the outside of our fish cakes, to give them a nice crumb on the outside. Okay? So just going to remash some of this, just make sure I've got rid of all those big lumps. I've also got a plate here, just so that I can get put my fish cakes onto it once I've made them into a patty. And then you'll see I've also got a frying pan for later on as well. Do a bit of a swap there. So into my mashed potato, I've already put some seasoning, and then all I'm going to do, so that's the salt and pepper, and then all I'm going to do is put my fresh herbs in. So that's the dill, the parsley and the lemon zest. And I can give that a bit of a mix. Now potato does need quite a lot of seasoning, so do make sure that you are putting salt and pepper into it, otherwise the flavour's just not quite there. So the potato is going to become our binding agent today. Okay. Also got to put my tomato ketchup and my mustard in there. So we don't have any English mustard, and we don't tend to use it. So instead of the English mustard, we are going to be using Dijon mustard. I would hesitate to use whole grain mustard, but if it's a family that's what you prefer, then do go for it. But it doesn't tend to work very well with fish. Now the amount of mustard that you are putting is minimal, so don't worry if mustard is not something that you enjoy. Tomato tomato ketchup there is just going to give us a bit of sweetness as well, because there's a lot of sugar in ketchup, especially Heinz tomato ketchup. So as I said, don't not put the mustard in there, because it does bring a little something, and as I said, it's not one of the main flavours, so it's not going to overpower the dish. Now, as the recipe said earlier, it's going to be using salmon today. You could use other fish as well. We did have a look to see whether we could maybe get some crab, some tinned crab, but sadly we couldn't do that. If you're not a fan of cooking fish in the house, you could use tinned products as well, so tinned salmon, tinned crab, all of those sorts of things. They work just as brilliantly for this dish. So now that I've done that and I've put everything in, I'm going to mix in my salmon. I'm going to lightly mix that all in. I don't want to lose some of those big chunks. Now, some people may have seen in the supermarket some of the dishes that have filled fish cakes, so they put the sauce in the middle. I'm not entirely sure how they do that, but I think what they might do is make the sauce and possibly freeze it, and so when you then cook it, the sauce then loosens up again. I think that's how they would do it, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe somebody can research for me and find out how they do it. So this is the bit where you're going to get your hands a little bit dirty. We're going to divide the mixture up. It does say into 4, so it's quite big pieces. I'm probably going to do about 6, just see how I go. And I'm wanting to get them into a sort of patty, so flat sides. There we go. So it's not quite a ball. So there we go, we've got my 6 patties. These are really good for small children as well, especially with the size, because you could make them a little bit smaller if you've got younger children. Obviously the portion size needs to be a little bit different for adults to young children. So this is a really good one that you could then use for that. So I'm now just going to use my dipping that I'm going to do. Just get my egg ready. What I could do as well is you could add some seasoning into your fish cakes at this point. So in the flour you could add a little bit more salt and pepper. So you can see I've just done a just a quick mix with just a spoon, just because that's what I had to hand rather than dirtying another piece of equipment. Now at this point this is going to get really mucky, so do make sure that you've got a nice clean worktop that you can know that you can get mucky and then clean down afterwards. This is a really good one for children to do because they do tend to enjoy getting their fingers a little bit more mucky than others. So I'm just going to dip it into the flour, make sure it's well coated. And then I'm going to dip it into the egg, and again make sure it's well coated, and then dip into the breadcrumbs. Now what you could do at this stage is go back into the egg and get more breadcrumbs if you wanted. I try and use just the one hand, just saves you from getting lots of fingers dirty. There you go. So that was a tablespoon of flour, just the one egg, and then probably a couple of tablespoons of the breadcrumbs, so about 50 grams of breadcrumbs. Obviously I've now got lots of bits on here. None of this can then be reused for something else because obviously we've got the egg in there, you've got bits and pieces in the flour, and you've got bits of egg in this bit as well. So don't use any of that, I'm afraid that then just needs to go into the bin. I'm just going to go and wash my hands again. So moving those all onto one side, what I'm now going to do is I'm now going to just brown those off. And the reason that we want to fry them rather than put them into the oven is that then it gives it that golden colour that we know from having fish cakes. All I'm going to be doing is just browning them off. I'm not trying to get them up to that hot holding temperature or above that of 75 degrees. And so what I'm going to do is just brown them off, and then later when we want them, I'm then going to put them into the oven for 20 minutes. So I'll put the oven at about 180 and put them in there for 20 minutes, and that will then just make sure that they're then well cooked. I know that they're cooked already, the potatoes cooked, the salmon's cooked already, but this just makes sure that it comes up to temperature and that we've made sure that we've killed any bacteria that we might have put into there, just because of the air that we've got. So I'm now going to use the oil, so I now need to get back out. Get my tablespoon. May need to add more oil later on because I've done slightly more than what the recipe said. So I've done the 6. I'm not going to put all 6 into the pan at the same time, just because then it doesn't move as freely in the pan as we'd like. Hopefully we've got a fish slice that's going to help you move everything around and get things turned over so that they go brown. So the other thing that this is going to do is cook the egg on the outside. We need to get that egg cooked. But because it's such a thin layer, it's not going to take very long to do. And as I said, that adding of the oil is going to add a little bit more flavour, and it's really going to give it that colour. So a couple of questions to think about. Maybe you could find out the research. What are the functions of all the ingredients in a fish cake? So what's the function of all the ingredients in this fish cake? And you could be doing that for any recipe that you look up and you do. You think about what is the function, why is it there? So you can really start to see that golden colour really starting to come through now that we've turned it over. And there we go. So all I'm going to do is pop these out and you can join the others. Do just watch this pan because it will be very, very hot now. So do just be really careful. Leave it on the side until it cools down. And that also goes for the hob as well. It will be really hot now because we've left it on for quite some time. So all I'm going to do is later on for our dinner is put these into an oven for 20 minutes at 180. As I said, it's just to make sure that they're cooked, not that they're cooked, that they're heated the whole way through. The reason for doing that frying was just so that we got that nice brown colour that you can see on these 6. Move these over. So hopefully that's a better position for you. So you can see that the browning is there because of the oil that we've had in there, and then all I'm going to do is put them into the oven for that 20 minutes at 180. That's also going to make sure that the egg is also cooked. Before then, all I'm going to do is let these cool down just a little bit as they are quite hot. I'm going to cover them and I'm going to put them into the fridge until I need them to then go into the oven. So please make sure that you are covering things, put them into the fridges if they need to, especially as the weather is getting warmer and warmer. Things shouldn't be left out on the side, so please make sure that you're doing that as you go. That's it for this week. Enjoy!